Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. We're going to be doing some T6 Gamma Abyss, my classical Abyss site to do. I feel like doing it now as a bit of a contrast to the T0 to T6 series I've been doing, because we've been focusing a lot in that series on, okay, we're doing T0 or like the lowest level Abyss, just to show you guys again how the end level of Abyss is, how big of a difference it is and what you can work up towards. On the T0 to T6 Abyss series, I think it will be like easiest to get to a Zealot just because of the skills carrying over from like a Punisher and a Retribution. But I like the Gila in the T6 Abyss, and it's because like the filament price of electrics is a lot less, and then also I've trained a lot of these skills to be able to use the Gila, so I've got really good skills. Another thing is that I think that perhaps a maxed out Gila requires a bit more skills than the Zealot, I think. Because you got the drones, then you got the different, then you got like the missiles, then you got the two cruiser skills as well. But the heavy assault cruiser skill on the Zealot does require a bit of skills. In that series, I mainly want to do it because I want to have the skills carry over, so just to minimize the amount of time it takes for us to get to the T6 Abyss. Okay, let's pop this cash right here, go for Vedmak, and some Daki. It's 59 million, just like that. You know, that's the amount of ISK we require to be able to get that retribution that I've been working towards. We just got to just like that. How long has it gone? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Can you believe it? Like, if I was doing this T0 stuff, then it would take me like, based on the ISK per hour to get the retribution, it would take me about maybe 2 hours, something like that, of farming. Because I think ISK per hour in the Punisher and Project Discovery setup, it's like 30 million ISK per hour, something like that. It's just funny how seeing we got all that in just like 2 minutes. I guess there's a little bit of a filament cost as well, 8 million for these gamma sites, but I mean there will be more rooms as well. Well, we can maybe go for this node right here. Have we got any Webifiers on this? No, because there's still quite a bit of NPCs left. I was thinking this we can go for this cache over here, who's not too far away. Popped right there, popped. We'll go for this starver because there's a few starvers. Diamond Vix, they don't nuke quite a lot, but still they can add up. I think 2 Diamond Vix are just a bit less nuting than a starving Vedmak. I mean, starving Vedmaks, they're no jokes. So you always want to be a little bit careful with those neuters. They can hit hard when you least expect it, because when you get to the 25% mark is when your max capacity is there, and then if you just keep being complacent and it goes below the 25%, on your capacity, and then it's just going to go downhill from there, because your recharge is going to go a lot less. It's just like, oh, now suddenly I'm in that critical zone and I'm just going to get popped. That happened once when I was doing a Zealot in the Abyss, because I think I mentioned it before that I died once to T6 electrical, but I don't think I went into detail how it happened. I was in the tester testing this Zealot T6 Abyss out, and it was an electrical Abyss, so you got the good capacitor recharge rate. I had 30 gigajoules to spare. The big difference between that and this ship is that this has got dual cab battery, so we've got more newt resist, but still, I mean, we've got an excess capacitor recharge rate of 14 gigajoules. The thing is, I encountered a mass newting wave of Ephialtes, and what happened was that I was typing messages on my phone. I was thinking, yeah, I can just FaceTime these guys. I just left myself a bit AFK until I was finishing writing the messages. But then I didn't realize, oh wait, no, there are actually that many neuters that I will be getting popped right here, and it had already got, like, it was too late. My capacitor was already so low that it was just goodbye Zealot. So it's important to not get complacent in these kind of Abyss sites, especially when you've got stuff like neuters on the grid that can eventually just dry your capacitor from a really good recharge rate to nothing left at all. This is my real go-to Abyss farming nowadays. It's really the favorite. I would have preferably wanted to do exotics, because exotics are a lot more relaxing than these gammas. Issue is the loot tables are just screwed up with the exotics. I've mentioned this before, but they're just really screwed up. Otherwise, the gammas are a bit tense. They can be a bit tense at times just because of how long it takes to get through the sites, but they give much more ISK, and the filament cost is actually cheaper as well. And another benefit is that you get the good buff. It's just the time is not nice. This is not nice. You get the nice buff of 6k HP. So when it comes to Charybdis wrecking shots, they're not at all as impactful as they would be in an exotic site. If exotic sites were fixed to do or have the same loot as the gammas, then I'd go back to exotics, because even though the filament price is more, I prefer that little bit of extra safety because of the like relaxation factor, or not relaxation factor, but just like the more safety factor that I'm able to not come into time issues. Because really, sometimes I can do everything perfect and still I come close to the time limit. So I really have to be on my tippy toes. And this is like good when you want to practice and fine-tune your abyss skills, but sometimes it can be a little bit stressful. So that's why I would pay the extra filament cost to do the exotics if I could help it. Another reason I like to do the exotics is because the background, I just like the background. The green background, I think it suits this skin more. I think it looks cooler. The green feels a bit like, okay, we've got a bit of camo going on, and something green a bit more natural than purple. I think it looks a bit more fitting. We've not got any web of fires right here. Okay, go towards the caches and open up this cache right here. 12 million. Just a quick 12 million ISK. No biggie, just a quick 12 million ISK. Oh, our drone's taking a little bit of damage right there. 50% shield HP. Oh, he locked out 6% of my shield HP in just one shot, it seems. They're pretty ruthless, those drones. We'll put one missile right here, see if it even drops anything. Where is this even? Oh, there it is. Okay. It's right below us. Go down like that. And can we lock up this guy? Because this guy has got a bit of drone aggro on us because of that yellow box right there. Get in range. Lock up more of these guys. Poppity pop. Great. I wonder how much ISK is going to come in from this whole site here. It seems like we're at a good start of 91 million ISK. Or not 91, 84 million, because the boosters are worth a bit. Cheap boosters, by the way. Very cheap boosters. That always can be good to have. And I'm not even using them. It's more like, okay, if I feel like I want to have a little bit extra comfort. And sometimes I'll just use them just preemptively, because 2 million for 1 hour is how much the boosters cost in total. I mean, that's really nothing for how much shield boosting you get and how much ISK you earn from these kind of sites. Like if you're doing stuff maybe like T1 or T0, then it wouldn't be worth it, because it'll be, compared to the amount of rewards you get, the benefit is not at all as valuable. But here, the valuable benefit is really great for how much ISK you'll get. Like it's just a very tiny percentage point extra. I wish the Pyrolances, the drugs that were for, or that are for damage, these ones right here,
a module has run out of
Pyrolancer, these, I wish that they could work for the drones. That would be nice. But unfortunately you can't. Otherwise I would probably be using these all the time, because the increased like DPS is exactly what I need here in these gamma sites. So even though these are quite a bit more expensive, you see dose 1, 3 million, 13 million, 24 million, 42 million. So I mean, it's no joke, the price of these DPS ones, but they don't even benefit me. I mean, what? Missile, okay, that's not our majority damage type. It's the drones that are our biggest damage type. So we would want to have something that affects drones, just DPS overall. And I don't think you can get anything, to be honest. I think there might be some of these special air boosters. 26 million, okay. We can even check. Let's see now. If we go in, maybe implant some boosters. Anything special? Anything special? Clone wrappers? No. These special ones right here. Energy turret tracking. Turret. There's a lot of energy turret damage, it seems. And we can go to the next room right there. Afterburner speed boost, repair speed boost, air agility booster, Nirvana, I think that gives shield, Rapture. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we've got much here. Okay, we've got Curbless Tyrannus. What is our percentage? Minus 50%, okay. Muta T2s, have we got any entanglement? Yeah, we need to take these guys out fast. Because we do not want to get entangled, because Charybdis can be a little bit scary when he does a lot of wrecking shots. Oh, now we go a little bit to the side because we've got attacking cloud, but that's actually good, because now I'll be able to get on top of Charybdis straight away. Let's land on volley here. And mutated T2 over there, mutated T2 over here, and a bit of a missile over here. It probably would have been a better idea to just go for Charybdis straight away in orbit, because of how now we're just sort of going back. It doesn't seem to be such an optimal path right here. Like, look, we're going around with a high velocity, then we just turn around. It doesn't seem so nice. Oh, mutated drone is taking damage. We don't want to lose those. Each one of those is worth like 90 or 100 million, something like that. So it's quite an expensive drone. 19 million. Okay, so these two rooms after that first one were not that great, but I mean, that's the way it is. You've got the RNG here. Can be a little bit whatever you want. It's like sometimes you can get 100 million ISK. Sometimes you can get a 5 million ISK. I've had that many times. And the RNG factor, or the crazy drop factor, I find it increases so much the higher tier filaments you get into, because then you can get these like the rare drops you get in high tiers are really like, you notice there's a big jump between filament tiers. Like you can get certain like rare drops in lower tier filaments, and then they'll be worth more, but the higher tier you get, the fatter those rare drops are, and when you get to the T6, it's just amazing. Like what I mean by rare drops is mutaplasmids, but a lot has to do with the filaments as well, because then you get the good filaments. Is increased likelihood the higher tier you go of getting a bit more higher tier filaments. So I think that it's quite cool how you can sometimes get, for example, this cataclysmic dark right here, just 20 mil off the bat, just like that. Okay, I'll have my drones go for Charybdis Tyrannos, because we've got these like Scylla guys here. We can just use our missiles on them. I think might even just go for Charybdis. Yeah, I'll just go for Charybdis. We'll take out the cruisers in the end. I mean, it's just one unit, it'll be alright. Oh, actually, no, maybe no, it won't be alright, because the filament cloud is not good for our capacitor. We are stable though, 3.4 gigajoules. It's not that bad, but we just should keep an eye, since we've got one neuter, and since we are very close to cap stability, it could be an issue if we get neutered out for a prolonged period of time. Muta T2, do your thing, do your thing. These are really great for Charybdis because they're pure damage. Like, it's best to do pure damage type against Charybdis, and when I mean my pure damage type, I mean like the pure optimal damage type in the site, which is explosive damage, because we have reduced explosive damage here. And that's the great thing about these. You can go with more DPS with the augmenteds. The augmenteds, they're not going to go too well because they do kinetic damage as well. But these guys, they do pure DPS, so they do pure explosive damage. And they're mutated, so they do a lot more damage. It's just great. Overall, it's a great thing to have those in the mutated T2s in particular. Like, their T2s are not expensive, but they are quite a bit better than the augmenteds if you get them mutated good enough. I mean, even if we had non-mutated T2s, the T2s would be better than augmented. So that's why we need to pump out as much DPS as possible, make them sort of like an augmented T2. Like, the augmenteds, they're just so great because they have the good damage, like overall broad DPS. We need just a pure type of DPS. That's the main issue. That's what is achieved with mutating them. Fortunately, the mutation is quite an expensive process, so that's why I tried to use them as little as possible in the case I were to lose them. I've never lost mutated drones so far, but they are quite expensive, and I try to use them only when I need to, and the times I need to are usually in the Charybdis Tyrannos rooms, because Charybdis Tyrannos rooms really are one of the longest rooms, so they're sped up so much by going with the mutated ones, or T2s in general. They're like a T2 is optimal here. When it comes to, for example, Fe Altus rooms, they are a very long room as well, but it's just better to go with augmenteds, because the pure damage type there doesn't really matter. They've got so low resist don't really matter, just the pure damage. So instead of using these super expensive mutated, I just go for the augmenteds. The augmenteds are expensive, but not as expensive as mutated. Okay, that's a very good time right there. Average of 5 minutes each room, and we took a little bit of extra time in, for example, the previous wave, because of the rogue drone wave, where we went to these small caches and that kind of stuff. So overall, I was pretty happy with that run right there. Good time. I feel like I'm getting a bit of the muscle memory as well. Something I want to do soon is to do some retribution Abyss, because it was a long time since I did that, and I really need to get that muscle memory ready for the T0 to T6 Abyss series when I get the retribution. So hope you guys enjoyed the video right there. Farming some dank ISK in the Gila. 131 million in 15 minutes. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.